Hello everyone and welcome back to FS25. So I'm just on my way to the store at the moment. We've got a little bit of field work to do. We need to do a little bit of liming and a little bit of fertilising. What I'm probably going to do is I will throw the lime on, and then we'll get Mary, of course, to jump in the tractor, do the fertilising. I think there's 2 fields which need doing. There might even be 3. But then after that, I've got a little bit of a crazy plan. Now, it may be a little bit silly at this time because obviously we've got £91,000 in the bank. That doesn't go too far at all. As we're finding out, we are going through lots and lots of money, and currently we're bringing nothing in. But it's just needs must at the moment. So anyway, we'll head back to the farm. I'll do this, then we'll get Mary in the tractor, and then I will unveil my big plan, which hopefully will all make sense eventually. But let's get back first. Alright then, so I'll quickly run over this field with the lime spreader. Then hopefully we'll have a little bit left afterwards, which will unload, get the fertiliser in, get Mary on her way. But the big plan, so I'm not sure if this is a bit crazy or not, but the trees that we're looking at currently, the ones that are right in front of us, just sort of around this construction site here, that quite a lot of that land is ours. So what I would like to do is make use of it. I'm not going to cut all the trees down. I do want to keep some there just around the border because they look pretty nice, but I would like to cut some down. Also, these trees here that we're looking at behind the greenhouse, I'd like to take a few out there, and that is eventually so we can make our own planks and beams and whatever else for the construction site that we've got going on. I'd like to get some more construction sites going, but we can't buy planks and stuff like that all the time. It will just be too expensive. So if we could create our own, that would be a lot better. But the big thing is, obviously, I haven't really got any way to cut them down at the moment. So I have been looking, and I'm potentially thinking about leasing a machine for one day so we can get all the cutting done in one day. Now, it's not cheap. It's probably going to cost about £20,000 for a rental, which obviously sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But I do believe that by cutting those down, in the long run, that would save us so much money. We'd make money from it eventually. So yeah, that is what I'm looking at. Obviously, I'm still going to have the issue of not being able to pick them up or move them, so that is still an issue, but that's why I need to select the right machine for the job. So we'll have a good look through in a moment once this is finished up, and we'll see what's available. But I think it would be pretty nice if we could manufacture our own buildings and create the wood planks and everything that you need as well. And also, as I said before, the land that we're looking at right now, that would probably be ideal for animals. I'd like to get some dynamic pastures in there because it's a little bit uneven. There's sort of some hills and rocks and a few other bits, and I think that would be quite nice to have a dynamic pasture there and sort of just see what it's all about and how it works. And yeah, it might be a bit of a crazy plan, but in my head I think it would probably work out quite nicely. So let's just get all these unloaded here. There we go, that's all the lime. We'll get it filled up with fertiliser, and then we'll send Mary on her way. Okay, last lot of fertiliser going in now. So actually all 3 of these fields need fertilising. Both these fields here need their second application, and the one we've just done needs its first application. So we'll get Mary in there. Okay, we've got a different lady this time. Well, let's see what she's capable of. We'll leave her to it, and yeah, fingers crossed she does a good job. Right, anyway, anything in the sale? An additional tank? No, and we've seen the others. Right, so let's get down to forestry. Now, there's not a great choice. I'm a little bit unsure as to what these machines are capable of. So, of course, they can cut down the trees, but are we going to be able to move them as well? That's my only worry, and I don't think they're going to. Obviously, the more expensive we go, the more it's going to cost to lease. So this one can cut down multiple trees and unload them at once. So essentially, that could possibly cut the tree and then we could move it to the location that we want. I really think there is probably only one way to find out. I think we're just going to have to lease this. How much is it going to cost? £15,000. Well, we need to do it in a day, basically. That's going to become very, very expensive, but we're going to go with it. There we go. Bit of a crazy decision, but there it is. So let's get this back as soon as possible, because the longer we're in it, the more money it's costing us. And yeah, let's just get it straight to work. Hopefully this is all going to pay off. Okay then, so our work doesn't seem to be doing too much over there at the moment. Let's just have a little look and see what's going on. Unless she's finished already and I just didn't notice. I think that is actually the case, because this is all 100% fertilised now. Yeah, a very good job done. Well done. Okay, so we'll get her back and we'll get her in the field just over here, and then we'll see what that machine is all about. Right, so she's off. Looked like it was Mary back in there this time. We'll start down here. I have absolutely no idea how to use this, but hopefully it all just makes sense, I guess. We'll see. Anyway, we probably should have... if we had a low loader, we could have brought this back from the shop on the low loader. Then we wouldn't be incurring the costs just to drive it back to the farm. But never mind, we have to make do with what we've got at the moment. So we'll target a smaller tree for now, just to see what's what. So let's drive up to it, I guess. That'll be a good start. We'll turn on the saw. So that is on. Okay. Cut it. Cut it. I'm going to target a different style of tree first. I don't know if it's because the branches on that one were so low. Let's try this one. This one seems a lot better. Oh, something was happening then. There we go. Okay, so we've got it in there. Now how do we grab it? Oh, okay, so it stays in there until we release it. Nice. Well, that's pretty good. So I guess for now we'll just make a pile of trees here where it's nice and flat. So we'll release the tree and off it goes. Okay, alright then. So we'll try that out on another one. That looks like a pretty nice one there. Of course, we're probably going to need a stump grinder as well, but we'll worry about that another time. Right, so let's get a good old go on this. Okay. I mean, surely it must be able to do nice big trees like this. Half wondering if we've got the wrong piece of equipment here. I wonder if this is for smaller trees. A little bit of a shame if that is the case. If it is, then we'll just have to make do and remove what we can. And try it on this smaller one again. Yeah, so it seems to have no problem on trees of that size. It's quite odd because like the grabbing system where the saw is, where it holds it, it does seem quite wide to me, but we'll release the tree. So the worker over there, Mary, is still doing a fantastic job. Right, so I guess we will just leave the big trees and focus on the smaller ones. Now, is this one going to be too big? Surely not. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, that is not going to get it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just being ambitious. Alright then, well there are plenty of smaller trees around anyway. I guess the bigger ones do look better. So we'll clear what we can. We'll get this into a time lapse. And then once we've done this area over here, we'll head over to where the greenhouse is. And we'll do a little bit over there as well. So there we go. The aim was to create a little bit of room, get some wood at the same time. We got some wood. Did we create a bit of room? No, not really, because a lot of the trees that were in the way we couldn't get to, but there we go. That just sort of is what it is really. We can't do anything about it. So I am just going to head over to the field number 2. We haven't really been over there much yet. I just want to see if there are any trees around there that we could target. I don't think there is, to be honest, but we will just have a little look anyway. There might be some on the outskirts. I think, pretty sure that is just a field with nothing there, but and even if there are some trees, they're probably going to be too big for this anyway. Very disappointed by it, but never mind. Yeah, there's a couple of trees here, but we'll leave them. Let's get this returned to the store and just call that a bad job. So we just returned to the store to return it, and then I thought, why are we even doing that? We can just click on it right here, return. So that's gone, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty glad it's gone. That was a lot of money. You know, we did try out a new machine, which is great, but that costs a lot of money. We didn't really achieve anything. And what I should have done is what I'm going to do now. we'll go to chainsaws. We'll just buy a chainsaw. Let's buy a McCulloch. There we go. Why we didn't do that first of all, I don't know. We tried to be a little bit fancy, but never mind. So the worker has finished in this field, so we'll send her over to the lime field, get that done. Then that will be all 3 fields lovely and fertilised. Still lots left as well, which is nice. We'll check it on the map afterwards once all 3 are done. But we'll just have a little go in with our chainsaw. Like I said, what we should have done before, without a doubt. But never mind. We can't dwell on it. Ooh, it's a slow cut, but it is a very, very thick tree. It's a shagbark hickory. Come on, you can do it. Don't burn out. £1,000 or £15,000. Yeah, there's not really much comparison there, is there? And there we go. Not on the greenhouse. Oh, wow, that is much bigger than I thought it was. Wow, that is a big tree. Okay, so the one at the back there can stay. Let's see if we can get this out of the way. That'd be quite a nice one to get rid of. Oh yes, it does. Nice. Okay, that's good. Much quicker as well. Oh, they all fell 4 different ways. Nice. Okay. But this is much better. This is going to give us a nice, clear and obvious path now. Obviously, we can't move them, but at least we can see what we're working with, and we're going to have a lot more space because of this. Are these all going to fall in different ways? Yeah, they are. Nice. I like that. It looks pretty good. Okay, so I think for now that will do. We've created a bit of space there. It's quite hard to see what's left because some of the areas are very dense, but we've managed to cut down quite a few more over here by the greenhouses. So eventually, once we have the capability to move them and cut them a bit cleaner, get them into the sawmill, we'll then be able to see what's left. We can take care of the stumps and then just get rid of any bushes or whatever else is in the way. But I'm quite happy with that because we've still got a nice row of trees along the road here, giving us a little bit of coverage, but we have also created a nice amount of space. So yeah, we'll not going to be able to do anything with these for a little while. They're going to have to be laying around all over the place, but eventually we'll get to work with these and start earning some money. So Mary has finished up in the field. So we've got our first lot of fertiliser on this one. It will need a second lot, but both those two have had both fields fully covered in fertiliser now, which is nice. So I'm pretty sure we should be good to advance into the next day. It's starting to get a little bit dull now, and hopefully when we wake up in the morning we're going to have some crates from our greenhouses which have produced. Hopefully this tree isn't in the way for this one, but we'll have to see what happens there. Only problem being, obviously, when the crates do spawn, we've got no way of moving them. So what we could really do with... That is a nice planter, that is. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. Anyway, what we could really do with is either a telehandler or a forklift. We have looked at them before. They are quite expensive, so we could really do with one coming up in the sale. But for now, let's get rested. Ah, we've actually got a crate of mushrooms over here now. Very nice. Those are bees. They don't seem to be very efficient. We might have to get some more in here because that one little bit of honey has been there for a long time. But anyway, let's have a little look. Okay, enoki mushrooms. Very nice. So if only we had a way of moving it. that weighs 400 kilograms. We're definitely not doing that by hand. Anyway, let's get rested and we'll see what the new day brings. Good morning everyone, and good morning Walter. So let's have a little look in the sail. Okay, nothing new, that's not fantastic. So let's see what the state of play is. So we've still got one crate of mushrooms, and yeah, those bees are not very productive. Okay, let's see how the polytunnels are getting on. Bit of luck, they would have produced something for us. I can see some crates, very nice. Ooh, look at all that lovely garlic. Very cool. Ah, and we've got some rice seedlings as well. Excellent. Okay, so each one of those is only 180 kilograms, but that's nice. Our first lot of rice seedlings. Excellent. So, oh, we've got a lot of weeds here. Okay, what about the other two? So the other two still look weed free at the moment. Right, okay, so we need to take care of that. So we'll leave that there. I think I'll do the weeding and then we'll get Mary back in there for the fertilising, the second lot. And then I do want to have a little look at some contracts again. I think that is a nice little way to earn a little bit of money and try out some new equipment. If only we had the opportunity to test out that John Deere that we rented before we rented it. It's a shame we didn't do it on someone else's behalf. But never mind. Right, okay. So very interesting. You can sort of see some tyre tracks and stuff on the field there. But the weeds haven't grown on the tyre tracks. Looks very funny. So I'll just do this really quickly. This has got a nice working speed to it, so it does really fly through it. Luckily they are only small and medium weeds. Not a lot of construction going on there at the moment. We did purchase some supplies, but unfortunately we've got no way of transporting them at the moment. All the leaves on the trees are starting to go brown. We have got some rain forecast as well today actually. I haven't seen anything about tornadoes yet, but we do have them turned on. So I'm sure we'll know about it. With a bit of luck, it doesn't rip straight through the middle of our field. It would be a little bit of a disaster, especially in our first year of farming. But right now, it's lovely and sunny. And look at all those trees in the distance as well. You can just see the tops of them. They look fantastic, really good. So I guess eventually it would be nice to get a sprayer, but then obviously we then have the cost of herbicide and everything else, where this was a nice little cheap buy in the sale, £12,000, and it does the exact same job. So at the moment I'm pretty happy with using this. It rips them all out the ground. So we'll just make sure we do get as much of them as we can. And this should be the last little bit here. Be interesting to see if they grow back at all, or now that we've dealt with them, that'll be it for this harvest. It'll be very interesting to find out how that works. Right, one tiny little patch left, then we'll let Mary have a go in the tractor. Lovely, sorted. It's looking a bit of a mess round here. Very, very untidy. I don't think Walter would be too happy with this. Right, there we go. So we'll just hook this up for Mary and we'll send her on her way. Off you go, have fun. Right, so I have had a look on the contracts and it's pretty funny really, because I said about using the tool before we rented it ourselves, and there it is. Noah wants his dead wood removed, but we're not going to do that. I have seen this one instead, which looks very, very interesting. It's wood transport. Transport the trees to the specified selling station to get paid. Be careful not to damage them, as any damage will be deducted from your pay. You can use your own equipment, which we don't have, or we can lease it for a reward reduced by £519. So the reward per tree is £550, but there is a penalty per tree of £2,000, and there's 13 in total. So we'll borrow those items and then we'll accept the contract. Okay, so here we are. They're over at the store. So the trees can't be too big, I would say, judging by the machinery that they've got for us. But it looks like quite a nice little setup, actually. Let's unfold it. Nice little grabbing machine. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Don't know whether it will allow us or not, but we're going to do the contract and then we're going to see if we can take this to our yard really quickly and borrow it for our trees. It would be pretty good if we could do that. Okay, so I've had a look on the map and it's not too far away from our farm actually. We just need to go across the bridge, throw a right, and we should be there. We should be able to see it. So it's actually quite a speedy little tractor actually. Nice little setup. So it should just be up here along the right somewhere. I think we might have to go across the train track. Got a nice bakery there. Oh, and we're being overtaken by a car. Yeah, I can see it on the mini-map now. So this is quite a well built up area. We've got another fuel station there. Another calf, lovely. Lots of calves around. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Oh, I can see all the logs, so they're all nicely cut for us. But we have to be very careful with these. We do not want to damage them and get that penalty. Okay. So let's see what the best way of going about this is. Maybe if we just park up here, we'll unfold the trailer. What actually happened there? Okay. So we were driving with the lights closed off, I believe. But that's alright. Okay, so we'll unfold this. And we'll have a little play. Right, so this is going to be interesting to say the least. So how do we open the claw up? Okay, so I've kind of got the hang of it, but it is just very, very tricky to get used to. That is for sure. So let's try and open this claw up. There we go. Okay, so oh dear. There we go. The first one is on the trailer. So that is extremely awkward. I'll try my best to get all these on as neatly as possible. Okay, so this is going to be the last log on this trailer. Now, honestly, this has taken so long. I wish I could time-lapse it and show you every single step of it, but the time-lapse itself would just be stupidly long, it really would. They either go in perfect and I do a really, really good job of it, or I make an absolute mess of it. There seems to be, well, there's just no in between, there really isn't. Anyway, clearly we're not going to get all these on one trailer, so let's just fasten the belts. There we go, they're on, and we need to find out where he wants these logs taken, then we'll come back for the rest. Now obviously I did say at the start maybe we'll take this back to our farm and borrow it. We're not going to borrow it, honestly. It's just so much work. Right, let's have a little look on the map and see where he needs it to go. Okay, so he wants us to take it across the bridge and past the store, the dealer, and then there's a building on the right hand side, so that shouldn't be too hard to find. Now, although this took a long time and I made an absolute mess of it, I'm pretty confident we didn't damage any of the logs, so fingers crossed we'll get the full amount for this, and then we'll come back for the last few. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing we have to get into the trigger and then sell the wood. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Right, so that's made us 53% completed. While I was messing around with that, I did also realise that the trailer has got a little bit of an extension on it, if you can see that coming in and out at the back there. So that would probably make things just a little bit more easier. Right, well, let's head back, and the remaining few logs I'll try to put in a time lapse. Now it might be a little bit messy, I'm not too sure, but we'll try it just so you can see the whole procedure and everything that you've got to do. Okay, so we've returned with the remaining logs. It looks like there is 6 left there. Yeah, 6. So I'll try my best. Hopefully it's not going to be too painful to watch, but let's see what happens. And just like that, the work was done. Wow. I did warn you. Maybe I should have given a viewer discretion warning beforehand. It was a learning process, and that's the main thing. We know what it's all about, and we got to use a machine that we probably wouldn't before. So we'll head back over. We'll get these in, and hopefully there'll be a little bit of a bonus for us. We'll see. We'll see how much it pays out. So I really hope Noah appreciate all the work that we've put into this. It was by no means an easy task. I'm not surprised why he wanted to contract that out. Okay, so we're at 53% currently. Let's sell it. Okay, so it looks like we earned £8 from that. A big £8. Right. Well, let's return the machines. Let's collect our money. £6,630. That's because there was a minus cost of 519 for the lease and no penalties. So that's pretty nice. I'm not sure how, but there we go. The mission was collected. And it was actually a total income of 7,150, but obviously they took out the lease and costs. So Mary has finished her job, which is nice. That means all the fertilising on all our fields are done. Nice. So the farm is looking a little bit of a mess at the moment. There is still plenty to do. We really need to find a way of getting some sort of machinery to move the trees, forklift, telehandler, something like that. We need a sawmill and we need to start earning some money. We've got these crates sitting around and we can't move them. But that will all be for next time. I think we've done enough work for this one this time around. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.